This is CBS LA Mornings.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, January 15th. Thank you so much for joining us on CBS LA Mornings. I'm Amanda Starrentino. Kalina Strinos and Chris Holmstrom are off. Here are your top stories. We have breaking news right now forcing people out of bed and into the cold night. Exploding flames spread through an apartment building while most are asleep. What we're learning just ahead. And another shooting by ICE agents in Minnesota, exactly a week after last week's deadly encounter. The massive backlash as federal officials explain what happened. Then we want to help you stay prepared for emergencies. Today, our Ready SoCal series dives into the threats of strong winds and how what's outside your home can actually put you in danger. But first, more warm weather. It's on the way. Meteorologist Amber Lee joins us with a look at your forecast. And Amber, when I stepped outside this morning letting the dog out, it was actually pretty nice. Amber, thank you. And we have some breaking news in the Pico Union area where an apartment building caught fire. A witness shared this cell phone video you're looking at of the flames taken just after 3 a.m. at West 11th Street in Alvarado. The whole building is now evacuated. The fire is out. No people were hurt, but unfortunately, we are learning one dog was found dead. The cause is under investigation. And more breaking news this morning. 4 astronauts from the International Space Station back on Earth. They splashed down off the coast of San Diego around 3:40 this morning. And video just into the newsroom shows the crew being taken out of their SpaceX Dragon capsule by a team recovery ship. The crew returned to Earth early because of a medical emergency with a member who has not been identified. NASA says all 4 are undergoing routine medical evaluations. New developments this morning involving the fire at a former church in North Hills. Fire crews are heading back to the scene to search for possible human remains. CBS LA's Tina Patel is there live for us. And Tina, we're expecting to learn more details this morning. What are those?
Yeah, well, we're going to find out, I guess, if anything has been found inside the building. Now, if you can take a look behind me, you can see that some of the heavy equipment that was brought in to demolish this building after the fire, they're working very slowly and strategically because there are still questions about whether anyone was in the building when the fire started. Fire officials tell us that after the fire was contained yesterday, they brought in human remains detection dogs to search the structure, and the dogs showed some interest in a part of the building that could not be safely investigated by firefighters. You might remember the roof had collapsed during the fire, so firefighters didn't even go inside when they were fighting the fire. Now, the dogs are trained to detect the presence of human blood, bone, or tissue, but it doesn't always mean that there's a body. Firefighters still need to provide visual confirmation. So the heavy equipment being used yesterday was being strategic, demolishing just enough of the structure so the debris could be searched. We don't know if the dogs will be brought out again this morning. We are hoping to talk to fire officials in about an hour or so and get an update on their operation. Now, what we can tell you is that neighbors in the apartment building next to this building told us that there have been a number of homeless people staying in this old church over the past few months. In fact, we know that one woman was rescued after that fire started. We don't know if anyone else might have been in there and might have gotten trapped. But again, those are the details that we're hoping to talk to fire officials about a little bit later this morning. We'll, of course, let you know as soon as we have more information. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Tina. We'll see what happens. Thanks so much. A second ICE shooting in Minneapolis set off more clashes with protesters. Federal officials say the shooting happened after the agent was attacked by men with shovels during an immigration operation. CBS LA's Jared Hill has the response from city leaders.
New clashes between protesters and law enforcement overnight in Minneapolis, sparked by yet another shooting by federal agents. The city's mayor, Jacob Frey, is pleading for calm.
For anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. That is not helpful. Go home.
The Department of Homeland Security said a Venezuelan migrant was shot in the leg after he and two other people attacked a federal agent with shovels and a broomstick during an arrest operation Wednesday evening. DHS says ICE was pursuing the man after he fled a traffic stop. They say after the shooting, he and others barricaded themselves inside an apartment.
Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital.
This latest shooting, exactly 1 week after ICE agent Jonathan Ross shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And here at home, workers were seen jumping from roof to roof trying to get away from ICE agents in Montebello.
That's crazy. I've never witnessed something like this. I feel so bad for the guys.
And you can hear it. Witnesses were shocked by what they were watching here. We are told a black truck pulled up to a house under construction yesterday morning, and within seconds, the roofers were scrambling. Two climbed up a ladder, and one man was seen jumping onto the neighbor's home. Witnesses think someone reported the workers because first police showed up, then a couple hours later, it was the feds. Neighbors say they're shaken up.
They don't care about anything. They just care about just apprehending whoever they see. All the hardworking people.
A construction manager says someone showed the agents paperwork, and in the end, no one was arrested. A short time later, the mayor of Montebello, Georgina Tamayo, issued a statement saying the city does not get prior notification about ICE raids and that the police department doesn't work on immigration enforcement. So the White House says it's been told executions in Iran may be stopping, while Iranian officials are saying the exact opposite. But in the meantime, people living in Southern California are still unable to get in contact with their families in Iran. People have continued flooding the streets. President Trump urged them to keep protesting, telling them help is on the way. However, people who are able to reach friends inside the country say they are describing a city living in terror.
They shut down everything on purpose. They do this so that if they kill, no one would know. They went out to, buy groceries and stuff, and then the city smells like blood. It's horrific.
That woman did not want to be identified because of fear of retaliation. The U.S. State Department issued a warning to American citizens to leave Iran immediately. Those that can't should keep a low profile and have an adequate supply of food, water, and medications. So when you look at your garden or yard, how confident are you that it will withstand strong winds, fire, or even drought conditions? All this week, we're helping you prepare for emergencies in our series, Ready SoCal. CBS LA's Rena Nakano spoke with an arborist who says resilient landscaping starts by taking care of what's underground.
It's not lost on Cynthia Carmona how lucky she is.
We have a lot of neighbors that lost everything.
1 year ago, the Carmonas came back to their Altadena neighborhood to find that their home was the only one standing. She attributes that to their heat-resistant paint, their covered outdoor vents, and also their giant oak trees in the northeast corner of their yard.
I really think acted as a screen against the ember casts.
She says she has a newfound appreciation for resilient landscaping.
It has made me even more determined to do this project in a way that's going to rebuild the soil, bring the wildlife back.
To guide her through the redesign process is landscape architect Sean Mistretti.
And we're also going to be keeping some of these weeds down.
So far, they've taken out one oak tree that was deemed too large and dangerous and pruned the burnt ends of another.
It could snap and fall, so they do an end weight reduction to relieve the pressure.
Next up is to rebuild a strong foundation.
When we talk about fire resilience, wind resistance, and drought resistance, it all occurs in the soil.
He says the health of what's underground determines the strength of what's above ground. So first, check for location. Don't plant trees too close to pavement or concrete because the roots will not thrive. Once you find a good place, make sure the soil has good water retention.
Mistretti says it really doesn't have to cost much to get your project started.
Save those Amazon boxes and collect mulch.
It's a free resource that is meant to be here.
He recommends making what's called lasagna mulching. First, wet a large piece of cardboard and pour some mulch on top of it. Do that for a couple of layers and let the microorganisms work their magic.
There we go. That's the protozoas and the bacteria and the fungi that are part of the soil food web that actually support the above ground community.
Make sure not to let the mulch dry out or it becomes a fire hazard.
It's best to just move mulch around and don't let it pile up against your house.
In a few months, Mastretti says the lasagna mulch will turn into rich soil. It'll naturally repel weeds and kickstart Carmona's dream California native garden.
I have a collection of dahlias here that are actually fire survivors. Going to replant those over there.
So here's Mastretti's checklist for a wind, fire, and drought-resistant landscaping project. First, look up at your trees, check for location and bulk. Look down at your soil. Are the roots healthy or are there obstructions? If not, add mulch to improve water retention. Don't forget to tend to the mulch to maintain soil quality. Try to grow native plants, and when in doubt, call a professional. Resilient landscaping starts with careful stewardship. In Altadena, I'm Rena Nakano, CBS LA.
Some great tips there. Also, great way to reuse your recycled trash with all that cardboard. All right, so we just talked about the yard. Now, how do you take care of your actual house? Coming up at the 6 o'clock hour, a local fire official walks us through a home and points out the areas you are going to want to check. And we have a section of our website dedicated to help you prepare for all kinds of emergencies. It's all on CBS LA.